All right. Let's see how this goes. Hey Melody, and hi Diana. Hey Livy. Ooh, okay. I really haven't planned for this at all. It literally is genuine planning with no preparation. Let me know how the sound sounds because I'm filming on my old phone so I can have my current phone so that I can utilize it because I keep a lot of my stuff on my phone. So let me know how things sound. Oh my goodness. Stop. Sounds fine. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. I don't even know what I'm using. Okay, so I figured I would just do a live planning session and we'll see how it goes. And I don't know how well everything will be shown, but you know what? We'll figure it out. Hopefully. Otherwise, we'll learn from this mistake and never try to do it again. I'm doing it, like I said, on my phone because, one, we can't find our webcam, the, like, extra one that we use for, like, down shots. And then two, the computers are going to shut off and overheat if we try to do it on the computer. So, best if we just don't even attempt. But yeah, I don't even know where I want to start. I have a lot of stuff that I don't need to do, but I can do. So I guess we should just start with like updating the books that I currently have checked out from the library, so that way I can plan my reading around like getting to library books. That's not what I want. So these are the two pens that I've been using. They're both just the Signo Uniball pens, 207, except for this one's the micro. So it's just thinner. So like I like doing this for like crossing out stuff and for like bolder writing, and then this one I like for small writing because my handwriting is already messy enough that I don't need it like even bigger. Anyway, feel free to talk to me about anything or ask any questions or tell me any stories or anything because otherwise I feel like this is going to be really boring for you, and I apologize for that. So I use like several different things, but we're going to go through the library books first. So I'm going to go to Overdrive, and we're just going to add in all the books that I have currently checked out. And I'm also going to cross out because I returned that. I returned that. I returned that. I returned that. And this is the only one that I still have checked out. That shows you how recently I've updated this. And I don't know, unless you're watching on like a computer or TV, this probably isn't a lot of like, it's not probably super big for you, but I can't really get this further down. I'm sorry. Okay. So first off, I like to check to see like when the books are going to be returned. So like this is the book I'm listening to right now. It's due the 28th in the morning. So I'm going to write down that it's due the 27th because that's just so I know like I have to have this book read by the the end of the 27th. So that's Code Girls by Lisa Mundy. And this book, I just started it today and it's really good. I hadn't been in the mood to read the past few days. And by the past few days, I mean like just yesterday. But it feels like a long time. When you don't read anything for a whole day, it feels like it's been a long time, especially if you've been reading at the frantic pace that I had been. And so I picked this one up and I'm already 3 hours in and I'm really loving it. So, and it put me back in the mood to read other things. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this planning thing until I picked this up, and then I'm like, okay, now I feel like I can plan my reading because I'm excited to read again. Okay. I do that, Diana, I do that on Overdrive all the time. Also planning my reading schedule for 3 books. Oh, good luck with that, Melody. I'm not good with physically planning my physical books. I'm great for planning audiobooks, but physical books, not my thing. It's fun to sit down on like a Sunday and just plan what you want to read. It's so relaxing. It's great. But yeah, I have a lot of books checked out on Overdrive right now and on Hoopla, and I'll probably check out more. Oh shoot, I don't even know when this book is due. February 1st. I'm gonna write January 31st. Eee. I'm also checking Hoopla to see if there's anything due there before. No, not till the beginning of the month, so we'll try this. I do have some books checked out that I'm like ignoring because they're not mine, they're my sister's, and I don't want to like put them on my list if I feel like it's just gonna stress me out, so I'm just ignoring those ones. You're gonna have your husband pick your TBR next month. That's so cute. That sounds really fun. I don't trust Chris though. If I asked him to do that, he would literally just give me like a stack of Brandon Sanderson and a stack of Michael J. Sullivan and maybe some Brian McClellan, and that's what he would hand me, and he would say read all these, and I think that's a bit much for 1 month. Fresh starts are always fantastic. I'm not sure how well. I don't know what books I'll have hanging over at the end of the month. I guess we'll see. I'm not really concerned about any of these right now, though, because they're not very long. Okay, so this one is due February 2nd, so... Oh, I didn't even write down the other one. Oh, well, I'll come back to it. So I'm going to write down that it's due February 1st. Fairy Mom and Me is on my list. It's a new Sophie Kinsella book, and I'm going to try it. I haven't read a Sophie Kinsella since, like, the very first, like, week of 2014. So it's been a few years, and even that was a reread. And I've never seen her write anything for kids before, so I can't even write right while I'm talking. It's funny that I listen to audiobooks while I'm doing this normally, but just trying to talk and explain stuff while I'm writing is like too much for my brain. I don't know who that is. Roger Zelazny. Zelazny. I know, I think I figured out today, actually. Maybe it wasn't today, but I figured out a day or two ago about like why I have such a hard time pronouncing authors' names. It's just like due to my like when I read stuff, I tend to not look at the full word. And so I just kind of like see the first and last letter and just fill in the inside letters, which really is not great at all. And maybe I'll pick out like one or two in the middle. And I don't know why I do this, but I do. And I kind of do the same thing when I'm physically reading a book. I'll like read all the dialogue and then go back and read the in between stuff. And I don't know why, but it means that I just kind of like fill in the in between stuff. And like if I'm reading a book and there's context around a word that I may not know very well, I can always like kind of figure out what the word is through context. And so like if I'm reading something and I've never seen a word spelled before, but I know what the word is and I see it spelled, I'm like, I had no idea that's how you spelled it, but from context I know what the word is. Because I'm like, oh yeah, it's that word, I've just never seen it. But if it's an author's name, I genuinely have no idea how to say it, and so I just like fill in all the blanks and then it comes out completely wrong. Does anyone else do anything like that? Jeez. It's an older fantasy series. That sounds interesting, actually. Let's look that up. 9 Princes and Amber. Ooh, it has good ratings. I'll add it to my I'll add it to my ever-going TBR radar. Fun stuff. Okay. You're trying to find audiobooks? Oh my gosh. I never have that problem of like, what should I read next? Like I always have like a list of a billion things. Okay, by Charles Martin. The next book that I just added to my list is The Mountains Between Us. I'm reading that for my sister's book club, and apparently it's supposed to be really good. So, I'll be the judge of that. Let's see. This is due February 3rd, so I'll write February 2nd. Gunslinger Girl. I really am doubtful of whether I will like this book or not. It just came out. But you know what? I'm going to try it. And we'll see. And if I don't like it, no harm, no foul. I'll just drop it. By Lindsay Ellie. Okay. How do you get 8 hours or less? Is that a question of how I get 8 hours of listening in on my days off? Because I just listen all day, and I usually will listen to about... This is kind of a graph of my reading for the past month so far, and usually on my days off I've been getting between like 17 to 20 or 22-ish. I don't know, I just listen all day. It's just what I do, I don't know. It's normal for me. I've been listening like a crazy person. Okay, so it's normal. It's just like, I was thinking about it and I was like, no wonder I have such a hard time with author names because I never read them. And like, my family, we used to read the scriptures every day, every morning out loud, and I would always just like say the most random names because the names were always confusing and hard anyway, especially if you're going through like just the big genealogy sections and like Genesis and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I wish I could listen to audiobooks at work. That would be the dream. If I could do that, I would get through so many books. So many. Okay. The only other books that I have checked out right now is I have one that returns on the 3rd. I'm going to write down that it's due on the 2nd as well. That's Death Below Stairs. Death Below Stairs is a new book by Kristen Ashley, and it's like a Downton Abbey-esque murder mystery with maybe a little bit of romance, I think, because she's typically a romance author, but this is kind of outside of her normal genre. I'm really excited about it. I've already started it. I haven't gotten into it really yet, though. I'm like less than an hour through, or maybe an hour through now. I just haven't been in like a reading mood for historicals at all. Like, all I've been reading has been like contemporary. But I think I'm getting back into historicals, so we'll try it and see. And then I also have checked out currently Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan, which is the 2nd book in her Dragon series. I usually prioritize my TBR by whatever I have due at the library soonest. And then when I feel like I'm going to have time to get to everything and don't have to stress about it. Not stress, but don't have to like worry about like, oh, I have to get to this book before I get to this book because they're all going to get returned if I don't. Then I just read whatever I want. I don't know. I'm such a mood reader, and I hear so many people say that they have like a hard time deciding what to pick up next. I've never really had that problem. I mean, maybe I'll start like 4 books trying to find something that I actually want to read, but I always have an idea. And I'm never just like, I have no idea what to read. I usually will, and since I listen to audiobooks, I'll usually just turn on something while I go look for something else to read. Because might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right not? Let's see. And this is by Marie Brennan. Wow, that does not look like an M at all. And that's everything I have on Hoopla. So let's go back. And then I have Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren, and that is due, I'm going to stick February 8th. Dating You / Hating. The only problem is that I just read The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I don't know, this seems like it's similar, and I'm worried. Except for I did just read a ton of Christina Lauren's books, and I've really enjoyed them. So maybe I'll enjoy this one too, but I'm nervous because it seems very similar. And the last thing is The Case of the Cryptic Crinoline. And let's see, February 10th. This is the 5th book in the Enola Holmes murder mystery series, or the Enola Holmes mystery series. I guess it's not murder mystery. And it's wonderful. And it's narrated by Catherine Calgren, who I really like. I know a lot of people don't like her narration. I think she's excellent. There have been a few books that I haven't enjoyed her in at all, but this one, I love her narrating this series. And I'm so excited to read book 5 because I've already read 1 through 4, and then I just reread them all, and I just finished the 4th one, so I'm so excited to read 5 because it's totally fresh to me. Giselle reacts. Hello. Ooh, Melody, yes, it's so good. The banter in that book is flipping amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Ugh. It's so good. Okay. So now that I've filled out this, which I really needed to do, yeah. So there's that. I don't know what to do next. I guess I can fill in the rest of this because I haven't done this in a few days. So let's see. I need to stick the cap back on this one. And then I need this color, I need this color, and I need this color. That's not the right thing. I meant to grab this one. Okay. So basically what this is the purple are starts of series, the green are sequels, and the gray are standalones. And then how I fill this in is that I've been using just like an app. This one's called TickTask. Is that what it's called? Let me double check. TickTick. Okay, so it's called TickTick, and you just cross off the things, and it will show you, if you crossed off on that day, what you completed. So like the last day I filled this in was Thursday. So then for Friday, oh my gosh, lift up. These are all the things that I listened to. So I 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 hours of sequels. So now I just am going to color in with the green up to the 14 mark. Oh, you guys are so funny. You're matching up your reading. You could totally buddy read it. It was really good. I do recommend. Like I mentioned in my last live show, I read it twice. Like 2 days apart. Because I didn't know what I felt like reading, and I'm like, that book was really good. So I went back and reread it. Which is something I used to do all the time when I was younger, that I haven't done, probably since I was like maybe 15, but I used to go and just like reread books on a loop until I didn't feel like it anymore. Okay, so that's everything I listened to then, and then yesterday I only listened to 1 hour of an audiobook, and it's a standalone. It was a very exciting reading day for me. I just wasn't into my book. I was listening to Snow and Rose, which is, oh, I have it written down as Snow and Roses. That is false. It's just called Snow and Rose, and it is by Emily Winfred Martin. It's this one. Sorry for the ambulance. So I'm listening to this, and it's a Snow White Rose Red retelling. Like, I don't know what I expected, except for a Snow White Rose Red retelling, but it follows the original fairy tale so closely, just like basically filling in the gaps, that I just found myself kind of bored. I don't know. Melody, I was feeling really overwhelmed last year with how I was tracking it. So far using this app, I really have been liking it. I've used it since the 1st of January, so for a couple weeks, and it's been flippin' fantastic because it's so easy, and then you just cross them off and you can move the tasks around and everything. It's been fantastic. I love it. So this is my graph all up to date. You can tell I had this day off and this day off. I worked that day, but I still read a lot, and then I had this day off too. You can tell where my weekends are because it's usually these big spurts, except for this day. And today's isn't going to be insane. So far, I've listened to like 5 hours of audiobooks, so I don't know. I'll probably get to about 7 to 10. It just really is depending on what I'm reading as well, because if I'm reading like nonfiction, I usually listen on a slower speed. I don't know. So there's that. Next, I just picked this up. It's just a monthly calendar, and as simple as that. And I just got it from the Dollar Tree because I want to write in buddy reads and like group reads in here, so I can just like have a place where I can see like these are all the buddy reads I have planned, and like these are the books that I'm supposed to read within this month, so I can like plan stuff like that. This app is called TickTick. It's this one up here. I don't know if you can see. And I've been really enjoying it a lot. Like, so much. And then if I decide to like DNF a book, then I just like delete them all and stuff. I'll show you how I set up the stuff when I plan out my individual reading for each day for this week. But I really like it. Okay, so let's choose a nice like deep blue for this one. On the 24th, I don't know how I want to do this. I don't know if I want to fill up a whole line or if I stick like a color. Maybe I'll do that. I'm planning this as I go. And this is Lady, because I have this planned with a friend, Lady Isabella. Scandalous Marriage. I don't know how long we were planning to read it for, though. Let's say that it's gonna last like 4 days, and let's just fill in the rest of this. This is probably gonna look super ratchet at the beginning. Oh, I haven't penned, since I just got this, I don't know if these bleed. They don't. Okay, good. Bleed on this paper, obviously. I know they don't bleed in this, which is nice. Just a book lever. I've been doing something sort of similar to that as well. I haven't touched it in a couple weeks simply for the fact that I was running out of colors because these are all the colors that I have, and I only had like a couple colors left. Let's see. How many colors do I have? I have 2, 4, all these freaking caps keep coming off. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22. I have 22 colors, and I ran out of colors, but what I was doing is I was coloring in like what books I was reading on what days, and then I'd have like the key over here so I could see like, oh, it took me 5 days to read this Martin and Luther biography, and then it took me 3 days to read I read Grant for 3 days before starting to drop it, and then The Island of Dr. Moreau I read on this day, and I don't know, just like stuff like that. How to Be a Pirate I read on this day. This one, The Scarlet Pimpernel, I read it for 3 days. Stuff like that, but visually I really like it, but I read too much. I had a couple days off because of a snowstorm, and then this week I also had a day off because of a snowstorm. And so it was just too much, but I really liked this idea. I just don't have enough colors. Okay, so I just filled in this one. I also have something called The Turncoat, which, spoiler warning, I guess, I just found out, has a lot of rape in it. So I'm going to try it, but I'm probably going to DNF it. But it is a buddy read, so I'm still going to try it. I don't want to flake out on it, so I'm going to add that one in right here and just say that I'm going to try to read it over the next 3 days. And the author on that, in case you were interested, is Donna Thorland. Oh, I didn't stick the color at the front. That's fine. And the cover is kind of green, so I'm going to stick in some green. You guys, I'm not good at drawing straight lines. This looks ratchet. Okay. It's fine. Okay. So that's that buddy read. Penciled in. I don't think I have any other specific buddy reads planned right now. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I genuinely think that's all of them. Okay, so now that I figured that out, let's prioritize. So what do I need to read the most? I like to do that in this notebook. I just write down the days and then just write down what I want to read. So I'm going to just grab a ruler to draw on a line. I'm going to stick the day of the week. So I'm going to just start for tomorrow's planning. So an M for Monday, and then it's going to be 1/22. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I usually do plan for more than a week here. I just like to get an idea of my next couple weeks, just because I find it helpful. I don't know how to do this so that you guys can see better, but... Hi, Keisha! How are you doing? And then 1-23. The only thing about this pen is that I feel like it skips sometimes, which is unfortunate. I mean, I don't feel like it skips sometimes, it skips sometimes. And it pisses me off when it makes my handwriting look even worse than it already is. I do the same thing. I'll usually read a book off and on for like maybe 50 pages to 100 pages, like until I get hooked. Like if I'm physically reading a book, and then I read the rest usually in like one sitting. But that's usually just because like I get interested in it. It takes I don't know, normally I don't split stuff up, and then if I do, then yeah, I never go back to it, or it takes a long time to go back to it. Yay, we're into February. 3, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6. All of these 2s look completely different. Let's look at next month. February, Sunday, February 11th. Okay, I just made sure that I didn't like duplicate something along the way, because I totally do that sometimes. Okay. 2/12. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19. There it goes skipping again. Ugh. Okay. And then I like to go in with a pen and just mark the weekends, the days off, because I don't work on Fridays and I don't work on Sundays. So if I mark them, then I can see which days I know I can read more, and then I'll plan more reading for those days. So earlier today I cut Christopher's hair for him, And I was like, hey, what do you want to watch while we cut your hair? And he was like, I don't care, whatever you want. And I was like, whatever I want, really? And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I recommended to him Gilmore Girls, and he's like, ugh, please, can we watch anything else? And I'm like, you're such a hobo, you've never even watched it, stop being such a judgy brat. And so I was like flipping through Netflix trying to find something that wasn't Gilmore Girls that's actually good, because I don't feel like watching most stuff. And so I decided to turn on A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. Have you guys watched that recently? Oh my gosh, it's so cringingly 2000s. So cringingly early 2000s. We were dying. We were both like flinching at so much of the dialogue, and we're like, oh no. It was pretty great. We just hadn't, like, Chris and I have both seen it, like, a bunch of times. But it's been, like, I don't know, probably, like, 7 years since either of us have seen it. I probably haven't seen it for and so it was just, like, ridiculous. Oh, another Cinderella Story. Oh my gosh, yes. That movie is very ridiculous, too. They're just, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. A good thing that Christopher pointed out, though, is that A Cinderella Story, the one with Hilary Duff, does have a really good example of, like, a platonic friendship, which is nice. I mean, some of the other things in it is a little bit questionable, but it does have a good platonic friendship, where it's, like, purely platonic. Okay, now let's figure out my reading. I'll probably listen to another hour of Code Girls tonight. I'm 3 hours through. I'll probably listen to another hour. So I'm just going to start planning for 4 hours over here. So Code Girls, and then I kind of like this actually with the bigger pen, so I'm going to switch back to that. Code Girls. And just stick 5, 6. Normally, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, although I love nonfiction and I really enjoy it and I read it because I really enjoy it, I get through fiction so much faster. So I'll usually just plan to listen to like a couple hours of nonfiction every day and then read however much fiction that I want. Wow, I suck. Okay. I missed some conversation. Let's go back. Okay. Cheetah Girls 3, and it was really something. Sausage Party. I've never seen the BFG. I've read the book for about like 10 years ago, but I've never seen the movie. You snuck off. Okay. I only have one podcast that I really care about keeping up with, and all the other ones, yeah, totally fall by the wayside because there's only that one that I really, really care about. And my ritual with it is it comes out on Friday, and then I work on Saturday. So on my drive to work, on my lunch break, and then on my drive home, I'll listen to however much of it I can. Sometimes I'll finish it when I get home, or if there's enough, then I'll just like leave it and then do it again the next week, and just like that's how I keep up with it. And it's just like my ritual, and I love it. Okay, so this one's due on it expires on the 28th, so I'll definitely finish that in time. And then I don't have any other nonfiction checked out right now. But I'm going to stick the Mountains Between Us because I really don't know if I'm going to enjoy that. Mountain Between Us. I always say mountains. I think it's just the mountain between us. I don't know if I'll like it. I've heard really good things, but it's not something I would have picked up on my own if my sisters hadn't put it on the book club thing. So we'll see. Let me check the length on that. That is... Please be a little slower. Okay, it's 10 hours long. Synchronized position to 0, 0. Thank you, I really needed that. 3, 4... I've never heard of Sausage Party. I don't know Teen Witch. I've heard of Halloween Town, but I've never seen it. Oh. I think I've seen the Twitches. I definitely remember it. Oh, Keisha, I was looking at the daily deals today, like the big thing. I bought The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. And then I bought. What's the other one that I bought? Oh snap, what was it? I should remember since I just got it today, but... Oh, I bought The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi because although I've only read one John Scalzi book so far, I'm pretty much trash for his books and want to read all of them. There were a couple others that I was interested in, but they're all available from the library, so those are the only two that I cannot get through into the library at all, through any of my libraries or anything, so I decided to buy them because I've been really wanting to read them. I know you hated the movie. I really don't know anything about it, except for some guy came into work like a week or so ago and was like, I want something like The Mountains Between Us. And I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea what it's about. I have no idea what the writing is like. I have no idea about anything. I don't even remember what he chose to buy. I recommended to him like 15 books. I don't know if he got any of them. He might have bought one. And then I walked back over to the information desk and my manager was like, that sounded terrible. And I was like, it was terrible. He wasn't taking any of my recommendations. I'm planning my reading for the next week or more. It's not normal journaling. All my journaling is all book related. The Left Hand of Darkness is Winks from Winks and Inks book club pick for January. So I was gonna buy it anyway and I just hadn't yet. And then it became a daily deal, so on the sale. So I'm really, really glad that I waited. Yeah, I want to read all John Scalzi because he's amazing. Yeah, that's what I do whenever I'm gonna buy any audiobook. I always check it everywhere and then I'll buy it. Okay. So Mountain Between Us. Again, I don't think, I'm just gonna cross out this S because I'm pretty sure it's not there. I loved Fuzzy Nation so much. Chris and I just kind of did like a cull through our library. We like walked around our house and like decided what we wanted to get rid of because we're going to the Book Barn in a couple weeks and they're having a 30% off sale, so we want to give like as many books as we're not interested in so that we can get a bunch of credit and it'll all be 30% off. And so we're like collecting all the books and he was like jokingly pulls Fuzzy Nation out of the shelf and is like, oh, we should definitely get rid of this one, huh, Giselle? And I was like, I'll kill you, put it back. Do not touch Fuzzy Nation, Christopher. Oh, you already got the Collapsing Empire. See, I'm so bad at remembering to check daily deals. I never check them. Melody, that's awesome. Good job. We are getting rid of, I think, a decent number of books. I recently decided that I don't want books that I don't love. I mean, I've already been pretty good about that and getting rid of books that I don't love. But I was just ruthless and got rid of a bunch, and then I also pulled out a bunch of books that I'm still interested in reading, but I don't necessarily think that I'll like them. And I'm gonna just try to like read a bunch of them and see if I can get rid of those too. Xenon. That's awesome. I would love to be to that point. I mean, there are some books that I think are worth keeping because of like collections and sets and stuff. But for the most part, yeah, I really just want like my shelves to reflect me. And they do, a lot of them do, but not to the point that I would love yet. Because there's just so many things that I haven't read on my shelves. And I'm also being more realistic with stuff as well and like checking if audio editions are available of certain books, because I'm like trying to say to myself like, okay, this book doesn't exist on audio. Do you care about this book enough to read it if it's not on audio? If the answer is no, then I got rid of some of those too, because I'm like, I don't care about this enough to ever physically read it. It's not available on audio. Just get rid of it. Get rid of everything. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to force myself to get rid of. And not that I feel like I'd be pressured if I did a live unhaul, but I don't want to like even allude to the like feeling pressured. Plus, my books are in this room, they're in that room, they're in that room, they're in that room. So like it would be kind of awkward and I'd have to like move everything around with me. And it's not just like one giant bookcase. Like in the living room, there's 2 on that wall, and then there's 3 on that wall, and then there's 1 on another wall, and then 1 on another wall. In the living room, they're all like stacked in piles, and they're on 2 different walls, and then they're like on 3 different walls. In the office, 4 walls in here. And then also, I can't get rid of books without my husband's permission because some books he's interested in too. So, like, some of the books I'm like, hey, I kind of want to get rid of this. He's like, no, I still want to read that. Save it for me. So, it's hard when you're married to a book lover. I think that's a good way to do it, Melody, and, like, give yourself a time limit. Okay, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Okay, 9 and 10. Okay, so that's that reading. Snow and Rose. I don't know. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, but I'm also haven't been sucked in and I'm over halfway through. But I only have a couple hours left, so I'll suck it up. Fairy Mom and Me. Let's see how much is on that one. By how much is on that one, I mean how long the audiobook is. I'm going to try to plan for like 5 hours every day. I think I can do that. Gunslinger Girl. Gunslinger Girl is 12 hours long. Wait, 4, 5, 6. Really nice that I know my numbers. 9, 10, 11, 12, and then this, since it's a Friday, whoops, I just totally smudged that. You guys, I'm so good. Since it's a Friday, then I'm going to try to stick 10 hours of audiobooks in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can add 5 more hours. Ooh. I have Gentleman in Moscow checked out too. I totally didn't write that down. Is it worth it for me to try to fit a Gentleman in Moscow in or not? Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So it's due on the 4th. It's 18 hours long. I think I'm not going to plan for it because if I was to do it, I'd probably listen to it as like one of my slower books. Someone else checked it out who uses my library card. So I think we'll just skip it for now, which means I have Death Below Stairs. I'm never sure what Christopher is going to be interested in, so I think it's better safe than sorry just to like have him look through them, but usually I'll like pull out a big stack and then he'll like let me know. $70 unread books. I definitely do not have that few. I'm not allowed to separate my unread books from my read books because of my husband. He'd have a fit. That makes sense that you just keep your horror separate. Like, for that reason, that you don't want to split your author. I don't know. I know Lindsay Ray. I don't know if any of you guys remember Lindsay. She had the best channel until she just stopped one day and I cried. But Lindsay had her TBR. She would just stick like her newest acquired books at the bottom and she'd literally stick them on the shelf as she got them. And so she would like, if she was trying to read her older books, she would just like choose the books at the top. And I'm like, I never could have like maintained that organization ever. Melody remembers Lindsay. She was so good. I miss her so much. I still like stalk her Goodreads periodically and see what she's been reading, but miss her so much. I'm starting at 2 on Death Below Stairs because I already listened to the first hour. You do the same things. And she deleted all her videos. I know, it was so sad. I was really crushed when she read it because I was always like very good about watching all her videos like immediately. Like I was dedicated to her channel, and then one day she was just like, "Oh, I'm done. Bye." And I was like, "What? Where did that come from, Lindsay?" I was heartbroken. Ugh. It would, but Keisha, it would, since you would annoy you that they were split up, then it would make you feel like you had to read the series, right? Isn't that a good thing? They'd be like, oh, well, these can't be together until I read them, so I guess I better read this series. I feel like that's what it would do for me. Except for my bookshelves aren't beautiful right now, so I don't know if it would bother me that much, because I wouldn't be looking at them that much because they don't necessarily in their current state don't bring me a ton of joy. Not the joy that they could and have before. I just really need to like organize them and make it such a less of a mess. We had to get our heating fixed, and we had our heat off for a couple weeks, and everything kind of got trashed while the heat was off, and we had to move everything around and move the desk out of Christopher's office and all the stuff, and like everything was trashed, and we have to like put some of the bookcases back together and stuff. It's not been fun. The funny thing, Melody, when I was watching her videos, I didn't have very, like, I wasn't interested in reading probably about like 80% of the books that she talked about. Like, there were so many that I wasn't interested in then, but I am now. But even then, when not caring about like anything she was talking about, I was like dedicated to her videos. Ugh, loved them so much. You have a bookshelf dedicated to all your signed books. I think I own maybe 2 signed books, maybe a couple more. I'm really not sure. It's not something I've ever really paid attention to. You guys, did I ever tell you that Melody specifically, did I ever tell you that my brother-in-law, my fresh new baby brother-in-law who I've had for, they got married right after Chris and I did, that he knows Brandon Sanderson? Did I ever tell you that? Because he totally does. And yeah, that's a thing. So we haven't met him yet, but it's a thing. You have so many signed books. It would be easier if you didn't double up books. Chris won't let me double up books. Melody is now dead. I don't know. How did we never tell you that? I found that out like in the spring. I was talking to him and he was like, yeah, I really like Brandon Sanderson. I went to church with him, and I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, he was in my ward. He, like, when I was like into like when he was first like really getting into reading, I guess Brandon just like invited him over to his house and like gave him all of his books. He apparently just like has like a shed full of books of like his books that he just like gives to people, and he just like gave him a bunch, and now he's like his favorite author. um San Diego Comic Con, I'm guessing is what that means. Well, I hope you could meet him too. I'm just saying the chances of me meeting him have gone up now that I have an in. An in with him, of someone on the inside. Because, yeah. I don't know. I found that out while talking to him, and I was just like, oh, I still haven't read any of his books, because I hadn't at that point. Now I've read one. And he... Yeah. You're just like, oh yeah, I know Brandon Sanderson. How do you just know Brandon Sanderson? San Diego Comic Con. Okay. The good old days when I used to live in California and there wasn't snow everywhere all the place. The good old days. Okay. Death Below Stairs, Tropic of Serpents is the next book. Tropic of Serpents, that is on Hoopla. Okay, how long is this one? Tropic of Serpents is like 11 hours. Yeah, okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do here? I didn't give a... You know how I said, like, oh, I like to plan for more reading on my days. I've been so distracted talking that I didn't do that. So let's add in a different book. Let's not do Tropic of Serpents. Let's do a Julia Quinn book. An Offer from a Gentleman. Because I've been reading that and it's good. It's a Cinderella retelling. Oops. Yeah, we'll just plan for 11 that day. No problem. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's perfect. It's totally fine. The book depository copies, yeah. The beautiful editions. Your husband's a huge Wheel of Time fan. Well, that makes sense. Oh, Melody, don't be tempted. You'll meet him one day, and he'll just sign all of your books. Personally, to you. Except for, if you have the budget, totally just go buy it. It's fine. Oh, that sucks, Elizabeth. All of my Wheel of Time books got lost, too. I owned, like, the first 9, and they got lost in the mail. And I'm really upset about it. I was pretty heartbroken. As everyone else seems to. But I didn't. I'm just plugging in my phone because I don't know what the battery's like at all. It doesn't give me any of those. So I figured better safe than sorry. Tropic of Serpents. Serpents, I need to finish by this day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, let's do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I can do Dating You, Hating You. Not on this day. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Dating You, Hating You. 1 and 2. Dating You, Hating You. How long is that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Dollar Tree usually has a good selection. I guess it depends which Dollar Tree you're at, but I have found some books there before that I've been interested in. Dating You, Hating You is 10 hours. Oh my gosh. Please, can you not with the skippiness? 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just going to stick the last one on because I'm not just going to not finish Dating You, Hating You that day because that's stupid. And then Case of the Cryptic Crinoline, which isn't even due until the 10th. So I can really easily just finish this day because it's only 3 hours long, I believe. These books are short, but awesome. Okay, so this is what my reading looks like for the next week and a half of only library books. I totally didn't add in the buddy reads, which normally I would. But that's what happens when you try to talk and think at the same time. But honestly, I'm planning to read much more than this. Normally, I read, I don't know, what have I been reading recently? On most days, I've been reading between like 7 and 10 hours, even if it's days that I work. So I'll probably read a lot more than this, plus I'm going to still read tonight. So even though I didn't do that, plus I'm anticipating DNFing one of them, and then another one I'm supposed to be reading over this Friday and Sunday, so I'm totally going to read more than just 10 on those. Oh my gosh, Melody, you're like my husband. I think he saw it 3 times in theater and read the book. Ugh. Hoping to reread it soon. You guys are ridiculous. Yeah, it's not for me. But Chris really loved it. Okay. And then, besides all of those that I have planned out, I don't know if there's anything else I need to be getting to. I need to read Secret Keeper. Is that what it's called? Oh gosh, what is her name? What is her name? And where is the book? That's weird. I know I have it on Audible and I'm not seeing it. Okay, whatever. Let's look it up on my book club with my sisters. Make reading a priority for next month. That totally works. Okay, so The King's Speech is actually the book that I need to get to for March. And The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton is their book pick for April. So those are 2 books that I need to get to in the next couple months. But I think I'll be set. And then other books that I need to get to. I'd really like to get to Secret History of the Pink Carnation by Lauren Willig. I'd really like to get to Intimate Deception by Laura Landon. I think that's it. I want to open another TBR book for my series right now. To keep that rolling. because I definitely need to add more books to my list. I mean, technically they're already on my list. That's why they're in this jar. The only TV show I care about right now is, gosh, what is it called? I'm the worst. Westworld. I just want the next season of Westworld. Desperate Duchess is number 3 by Eloisa James, Duchess by Night, which I'm totally fine with that. That sounds like a good idea to me. Let's add that into my TBR. Because I could always do with some lovely Miss Eloisa James books. And then this is a sequel. Oops, that's totally the wrong purple. Okay. And I don't think I've added in Mountain Between Us yet either, which I need to do because it's a book club pick for me. I don't usually, I mean, off and on I've been adding in books that are on my, that I've checked out from the library. I haven't done it recently though. I think I'm going to scrap this list soon and start a new one because I've finished so many things on it. The Mountain Between Us. I don't know why that's so hard to remember. Okay. I'd really like to get to Left-Handed Darkness soon as well. There's so many books I want to get to, but I think I should stop my reading for here and see how this works out. So y'all, have you read the Amulet series by Kazuo Kibuishi? Or is that how you say his name? I don't know. Kibuishi. Have you read Amulet? Because I read the first 2. And I don't know if I care about continuing on with the series. Like, I have it in my jar. I picked it out. And I don't think I care enough to read the next book. Like, I like them and they're good, but there's so many other books I want to read that I think I'm just going to, like, DNF the series, take it off my list so I don't have to, like, think about, like, well, you should read this book now, because I just don't think I care. Is it worth reading the series? The Amulet series. The graphic novel Amulet series. In case you weren't sure which series I was talking about. Okay. I think that's all of my reading. I don't know if you guys are interested in watching me transfer my TBR stuff over. I guess I can just go through my bullet journal and update it because I'm pretty behind right now. For books read in 2018, I have like 20 more books to add. Series to finish. I have completed The Viscount Who Loved Me. Oh my gosh. Please stop sucking. Have I read any of these other ones yet? Okay, so I have only read that one. I definitely could fill in this and this. You haven't read the Amulet series yet. That's what everyone's saying. Nobody's read Amulet. Okay, so, I don't know. I just don't... They're not super gripping for me. And I know so many people who love them and have given, like, all of them 5 stars. But I just don't see it. Like, they're fun. They almost remind me of, like, the Spiderwick Chronicles. The books, not the stupid movie. With that actor that I don't like. But... I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. So let's just go look at some sequels on Goodreads instead. And then add them into my spreadsheet. My lists. I read the Spiderwick Chronicles like 10 years ago or something. It's been a while. And I don't know if I'd still like them. I liked them as while I was a kid though. And art has always really gotten to me in books, and the art in those books are gorgeous. So, is gorgeous. Whatever. The sequels. The struggle is real with sequels. Yes, it is. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people who've come into the bookstore and really liked what's its face? Mindhunter, but I really don't know anything about it. It doesn't really appeal to me at all. Okay. So I read The Case of the Bizarre Bouquet. I guess we're going down and not over, which is fine. I started Something About You. Which is the start of a new series. Bad me. But then I read Echoes of Scotland Street. I read Moonlight on Nightingale Way. I read One King's Way. I read A Lot Like Love. Okay, I guess this is where I need some advice. So I DNF'd this book 10% in, but it was a sequel and I did end up dropping the series. Do I count this as a sequel read on my spreadsheet because it is a sequel and I've crossed it off my list? So I've made progress on the series, aka dumped it? Or do I not count it because I only read 10%? Is that cheating? Let me know. I don't know if I'm excited about the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch reboot. I know Christopher was just telling me that they're doing it, but I have no opinion yet. You deleted your spreadsheet. Oh, that sucks so much. That's terrible. I do have a spreadsheet tracking the same stuff like on the computer, but I like writing it out and like seeing it. I think it's fun. That sucks. You guys, does it count if I DNF the book or not? I need to know. But does it count? I always count it on Goodreads as read. So I guess that means that I can count it on here. Because, like, I was trying to read a sequel. I was being good. I was not starting a new series. I was reading a sequel. And it just happened to be trash. Okay, I'm going to count it. Thank you for your help. Okay, you guys, speaking of comics, Dark Wild Night by Christina Lauren. Here, let me click on it so you can actually see it. I mean, all of my Goodreads friends seem to say that they were disappointed by it, but I loved it so much. I loved the first half, but it's about like a comic book writer and a comic book store owner. And it was so cute. I died. I loved it so much. The big problem with the book for me was that the character had a lot of like anxiety and panic attacks. I also have a lot of anxiety and panic attacks, and I've especially been having a ton of panic attacks recently. Like really not fun ones. And so it made me feel very like shaky reading it because I was like, oh no. This is nah. I could feel what the character was feeling and it was scary. So it was like almost too much for me, and other people were like, I just didn't connect with this enough. So I don't know why, but it was really cute and I really liked it. The second half I didn't think was as good, but the first half especially was excellent. I still really liked it. I still give it 4 stars. It was great. I recommend. Whatever encourages me to keep my motivation going. Well, thank you. And technically, since I DNF'd it, that means that I'm not actually ever going to try another book by this author, so I just got like a bunch of books off by TBR and like 4 more sequels, so I guess that totally should count then. Melody, start DNFing. DNFing is the best thing ever. You had them on Goodreads. Goodreads is just the best for that. Keisha, I used to do that all the time too. Because it's almost like, well, how can I say that I hated this book, like, in its entirety if I don't read the whole thing? But that's something that I really want to stop doing this year, because it's just too much of a time suck. Like I said, my time is important. Also, I didn't get the title of this book. It's called Wicked Sexy Liar. And I'm confused about who was lying. Because I don't think anyone was. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. Case of the pink. And then today yesterday, I read The Butcher of Anderson Station, which is book .5 in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. And it was good. I'm glad I read it. Gave you some backstory, which is always good. And then I also DNF'd Days of Rakes and Roses, which was pretty much garbage. Now that I've already written it down in here, When the Marquis Met His Match, should that go on to, like, the completed series since I DNF'd it? I wonder. Maybe I should do that instead. Oh well, too bad. Yeah, definitely DNF series too. They're just not worth it. There's so many books to read. Keisha, think about all the books that you physically own that you haven't read yet. And think about the hours of time that you spend, like, watching TV and working on your other hobbies, which are totally valid and awesome. And then think about all the time you have left for reading. Why are you still reading those books if you're not liking them? DNF them. Yeah, I totally get that, where, like, if you leave it sort of ongoing, be like, I'll just set it down for now, even though I'm not really enjoying it, and I'll come back to it, and then you never want to come back to it, so it makes you not want to read anything. You've DNF'd one book so far. So far ever, or so far this year? And I do that, Melody, unless it is a romance series, because they are so, like, character centric that you don't necessarily have to read the books in order and stuff like that. So if I don't like a book, I'll read the other books because I know it's probably just the characters of why I've hated it so far this year. Okay. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, one book ever? That's so few. I've DNF'd 1, 2, 3, 4. I've DNF'd 5 books so far this year. I wish it was more, but only 5, which is, I guess, enough for, so yeah. Yeah. They are all just, like, focused on the different characters. Again, just depending on, like, the romance series, because some romance series, like the Parasol Protectorate series or whatever, like, do not just skip around in those books. But for most of them, it's okay. And, yeah. Anyway. That's pretty good. That means I have one more series that I can start. Excellent. And I'm working on several sequels right now, so that is good as well. Alright, so I've completed that. I can fill this in, but I don't feel like it right now. I haven't made progress on any of these. Haven't made progress on this. Oh my gosh, did you guys see all those readathon announcements come out at once? There's 3 that overlap that I'm interested in, and I'm like, gosh dang it, you stupid people. Not that they're really stupid, but, like, why are you making 3 readathons that I'm interested in overlap? Why? I'll probably still attempt to do them all, but still, don't do that to me. But anyway, there's the Contemporary-a-thon, the Unicorn Readathon, and the In Love-a-thon. So Unicorn Readathon is the 4th through the 10th, the In Love-a-thon is the 9th through the 15th, and the Contemporary-a-thon is the 12th through the 18th. Thankfully, I guess the In Love-a-thon and the Contemporary-a-thon, which overlap the most, are pretty centric around the same thing. Like, you can make it count for both, so maybe I'll just read any, like, historical or whatever books that fit into the In Love-a-thon on, like, the 10th, the 11th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and then on the 12th through the 18th, just, like, focus on contemporary books. Assuming that I'm not completely burnt out on contemporary by the time the Contemporary-a-thon starts, because I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 contemporary books so far this month. And I don't usually read that much contemporary, so anyway. You always plan to get back to Warm Bodies. Oh, I would die without reading multiple books at once. I'd get too bored. Loyal books. What is that? Is that sort of like LibriVox? You cleared out you're currently reading. Are you talking about like on Goodreads, Keisha? Because they just changed how currently reading books look on Goodreads very recently on the app, like maybe 3 weeks ago. And then the biannual Bibliothon's going on right now. I was thinking about participating, but I was kind of slumpy the past week, so I didn't. I can cross this one off my list. I tried to read Rock Chick by Kristen Ashley. It was garbage. Do not pick it up. You have 52 books to read on your Goodreads this year, but you want to read 200. That sounds about right. You guys have been reading so much, holy cow. Dial it down. Okay, so Loyal Books is similar to LibriVox. I wonder if they use LibriVox recordings. That sounds cool. I do like LibriVox. You usually go through your browser. Then I don't know when it changed because I don't feel like it looks different. Maybe it still does though. And I've started An Offer from a Gentleman. Okay, Rock Chick. That's right. I didn't even mark it on my Goodreads because I really didn't get that far. Maybe I did. I got like an hour to 2 hours in. It was so bad though, you guys. I just could not. What day was that? I think it was like a Thursday. I never put it in here because I started it spontaneously one day after work waiting for Christopher to come get me. And it was just, this guy and this girl, and they're so dumb. Especially the girl. She's so stupid. I don't know what the guy sees in her. She's an idiot, and she's like manic and crazy and like basically threw herself at his dick for like years and years and years. And then finally, he's like finally interested in her, and she's like, nuh-uh, but then like totally gives in anyway. And then he like tells her what to do all the time, like a jackass. And then apparently, I didn't get this far, but apparently he like is not allowed to like wear in public and stuff like that. And I'm just like, nope, 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 nope. Like, this guy is a controlling jerk face. And then I DNF'd it. This is really bad. The Keen in Yellow, I don't know what that is. The Woman in White, I need to freaking read because it's been on my list for so long. I mean to read it like every year, and I never do because I suck. Robert W. Chambers. I don't know if I know who this author is. Oh, apparently it's horror. That's probably why I don't know what it is. Because horror is not my genre. Alright. Your fanfiction under control. See, that's the thing, though, is like, as long as you're reading, I don't see the problem with it. Read as much fan fiction and whatever as you want, because you're still reading, and that's the important thing. Okay. I did intend to read The Beekeeper's Apprentice this month, too, but I just don't think I'm in the mood for it. I've continued on with this series. I think that's the only other series. Oh, I continued on with this series because I'm kicking butt. I've continued on with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 series so far this year. 8! It's freaking amazing. Good job, Giselle. Especially considering how many I have ongoing. Like, I'm like, 8's a good amount to have read in 3 weeks. Some of them are on Goodreads. I know that's always fun when that is on Goodreads because you can count it. I never would say that I read a lot of fan fiction. I definitely did read some, but yeah, it's been a really long time. Totally nothing against it, and occasionally I'll like go pick up a Draco Hermione one, but it's been a while. She's a whimpering crybaby. Well, I'll go into that with low expectations then. You have a vicious cycle. Ugh. Oh, I may have looked up some Game of Thrones stuff. I definitely looked up some Game of Thrones stuff as well. Like maybe a year or two ago. But it was never like one specific like I never really followed them. I would just like read what was out and then be like, okay. The end. Okay, let's see. I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else. Like I said, I really didn't plan this at all. I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Excuse me. Okay. I definitely will still read A Woman in White. I mean, it's on my TBR list for the year. Like, I really want to get to it, but I just keep on not getting to it. I'm sorry, I just need to stretch my legs out. My knees are getting a little bit numb and painful. Ugh. I'm tired. I guess I've only been out for like 11 hours. It's not like I've been up a really long time, but 11 hours is a long time. Well, I don't know. I usually wake up between like 7 and 8, and then I go to bed between like 10 and midnight. So I'm usually up for, I don't know, however long that is. 16 hours. And I'm still not going to be able to go to bed until like at least 10 tonight because talking to the in-laws at 8 p.m. But okay, Keisha, drive safe. I'm sorry you ditched your aunts for us. Thank you though. We appreciate it. I do like to write the date that I made these just to like get an idea. And I don't know, that's pretty much it though. Like I don't really have much more. That's pretty much my planning. Just like filling in my old stuff and then just planning it. And I usually do it while listening to an audiobook, so it's not like super tedious. It's fun and enjoyable. One thing I do want to do, which I don't necessarily want to do on camera because talking and writing at the same time is hard, whereas listening to an audiobook and talking at the same time isn't hard, but I want to make a new TBR spread because this one's getting full and I'm sick of seeing all like these crosses and everything. Oh, I finished this book. I just wanted like a fresh new spread. I feel like it will make me feel motivated. And I think I have officially decided to take this book off my TBR Amulet because I just don't care. I don't have time to read books that I don't care about. And this book as well, I don't care about. I was supposed to read it for a book club, but I think I'm just not gonna go because nobody has time for that. This book is off my TBR for now. I'm definitely going to go back to it, but it's not on my current TBR. I tried to listen to it and I'm just not in the mood for it, so even though I'm interested in it, it's just not my cup of tea right now. That looks so much better. Definitely need to make a new spread though, because it's getting a bit like cluttered. You just got here, did I finish planning? Yeah, for the most part. I didn't even do that good of a job because I was so distracted because of comments, but I just planned out this, which is normally how I plan out my reading, and I only planned out till here, and this is like my current TBR that I added a few books to. I'd like to add some more books to this actually, but I don't know. And I ended up like filling in the last couple days of books of like hours that I've been listening. This is, I guess, kind of almost inspired. I didn't think about it till just now, but almost inspired by like the Audible thing, because I don't listen to most of my audiobooks on Audible. I listen to most of them through like Overdrive or Libby or Hoopla, and then a few through Audible. And so like having this spread out like this, like Audible does it, it's kind of fun to like get an idea of like how much I'm listening every day. There have been 2 days that I haven't met my 4-hour goal, but all the other days I have, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm going to write out a new TBR because this one is just looking kind of ratchet. I think the easiest way to do it though is just to take a picture of it and then start physically writing the books over from there instead of flipping back and forth a lot. Okay. Because I was thinking, I don't know. It's your guys' call. I was thinking of either ending the live show right now or doing this. What do you want? I'm going to go to the bathroom. You can decide. I can always end the live show if you guys are bored or done or whatever. Let me know. Because I can end the live show. It's your call. I just don't want to, like, keep you here or be boring if I'm being boring because I feel like I'm being really boring. We'll see. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. And also get more water. Woo. Ugh. Okay, I guess I'll keep it going then. I just feel like I'm being so bored and I apologize. Melody, definitely take a picture of what you're planning and tag me on Instagram. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited to be making a fresh TBR list. Because my other one is not... It's not my favorite. Okay. Let's see. I mean, I liked it when I made it, but now it's just too cluttered for me. But I have to do it as a 2-page spread because I always have so many books on my TBR that I can't just make one page and then fill it up and then be done because I fill it up instantly. If I'm going to have books all the way over to here, I bet you. I don't really like that R. Oh well. Oh, so you already have planned what books you're going to be reading until the end of the year? I couldn't do that. There's too many new releases that I want to read. That's something that I'm trying to do, is try to read a couple new releases every month. Yeah, I definitely couldn't do that. I'm sort of using a number-esque generator thing with my TBR jars. But my TBR jars aren't like things that I have to get to in a timeline. It's just I'd like to get to them over the next like month or two. I just choose either by what I'm going to be buddy reading with people from TBR jars and then just what I'm in the mood for. You finished? Diana, you're always reading such interesting books. Same, Diana. I can do it for like a month at a time, but I don't do it in order either. I just have like a list and then I read from. Like, as you can see, I added all of these books on like the 3rd of January up to here, and I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them, and crossed 6 off my list because there's another one that I've realized I've DNF'd as well. Like just off of my initial TBR. Actually, this was like on the 3rd that I did this, the 2nd or 3rd of the month. So like, stuck to it pretty well. I mean, obviously I'm always going to be reading things, but like Spirit Witch, I only read that on the 5th. So like, I was adding books like immediately as well. You're a mood reader. Yeah. I'm a mood reader too over a lot of it, but I can plan to a certain extent. But I will totally and completely ditch my whole TBR if I so feel like it. Diana, that's so cool. I love it. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a mood reader though. I think it's great. Except for I love making TBR videos. I used to be really bad at sticking to TBRs, and now I'm pretty good at it for like a couple weeks at a time. But yeah, anyway. Next one. So I need to leave 3 spaces, and then I can start adding my books in. This is not the pen that I want. This is the pen that I want. 1, 2, 3, dot. So first I'm going to stick my 2 books for my book club with my sisters. Wow, it won't let me go further in. Oh well. So the mountain between us. Do any of you watch Jane the Virgin? You're rereading MacArthur's Spies. I have no idea what that is. Can you guys hear the noises coming from out there? Chris is watching something really loud. And then we're also going to be reading The King's Speech. You can do them by week basis sometimes. I always have so much fun making TBRs though. Alright, and then The Secret Keeper, The King's Speech. This is by Mark. And then Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. We just had our book club meeting for The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. on Thursday. So my two or all three of my sisters, depending, but mostly just two of my sisters, me, one of my cousins, and my mom, we have a book club together every month. And we Skype it, and it's really fun. But actually this last month, one of my sisters came who normally doesn't, so that was really fun and awesome. So those are all the books I need to read for the next couple weeks. And it would be nice, not a couple of weeks, next couple months. And it would be nice to get ahead, although I probably will not. But it's always a nice thought. Okay. So those are my books for that. Keisha, you're so funny. Good to have you back. The Reluctant Keen by Sarah Bradford. Well, that depends. Is it on audio? Because if it's on audio, I'll read the crap out of it. If it's not, it will have to go on my long-term TBR for when I'm old. Because otherwise, I know I'm not going to get to it. Sarah Bradford. I don't think it's on audio. I'll still add it to my TBR, but Bradford. That's unlikely. I have seen the movie of the Keen Speech. Okay, I'm marking it as to read on Goodreads. There's your review. Read in 2015. That's awesome. You're always reading such interesting things. I'm gonna have to go stalking through your shelves later tonight and just like look at everything. I'm jealous. You're number 10 top users. That's crazy sauce. You have all these badges. You're so cool. Oh my gosh. You've read 4,000 books on here. I kind of hate you a little bit. Oh my gosh. You're so amazing. I want to be you when I grow up. Please? Can I? I don't want to be you when I grow up, actually. I want to be you right now. I'm so impressed. Your shelves are a scary place. That sounds interesting too, Elizabeth. I'm gonna have to pick that up and look at that too. Ooh. Oh, it looks like you maybe already finished it, but you didn't mark it. But it's still on your currently reading shelf, so I don't know why. But The Witch by Ronald Hunton. I really want to read that. It looks really good. It looks really interesting. Ooh, and how are you liking A Study in Scarlet Women? I listened to an interview that she had recently, and it was really interesting, and I want to read it, but I haven't yet. You guys, stop suggesting all these books, except for Never Do. Always suggest them. I don't know if I should say sorry or that's awesome that you haven't been able to work in a few years. Like, I know some people like work because they're crazy, but my dream would be to be able to stay home and read all the time. I could easily get through a book a day, if I didn't have to work. And I really would love to get to the point where I could like stay home and work from home and get to read more. But I think that's so amazing though that like you get to do, since you have the free time, that you get to read all the time and just like post all these reviews. I think that's incredible. So, I mean, you're using your time well, in my opinion. Oh, Anna, you're so cute. It's really just about like fitting in the time. But like, I come home from work. Sometimes Chris and I will spend time together, but sometimes not. And I just like come and just read for as many hours as I can possibly fit in before we go to bed. If I didn't have to work, I would feel like less stressed about the enormity of my TBR, but at the same time, like, again, I don't know if I'd have like the discipline, because I was out of work for a little while a couple years ago, and although I did start reading more, I also felt like really guilty about it, and I don't know if I'd like how I'd deal with that, especially being married to someone who does work full time. I felt like really bad about like all the books I was reading. But then you're going to college and you're learning all these cool things. And that sounds awesome too. I don't know. I never really wanted to go to college, but I've been really thinking about it seriously, and I don't think I can afford it right now or for the next few years, but I'd really love to go to college and be a librarian. That would be my ideal. I think that would be my perfect job. That's probably not gonna ever happen, but it's nice to think about. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I already have so much debt from Christopher's college that, I don't know. And with working like full time right now, I know I couldn't give up my job, so I don't know. It would be just, I feel like it would just add too much stress. Maybe after this year or later this year, it's something that I'll seriously look into, but ugh, I want to be a librarian so badly. A children's librarian so badly. That's really cool, Diana. Okay, you guys, stop trying to talk me into college. Because it's working. Okay. Alright. Do you want to start a scandal by Tessa Dare? Oh, wrong pen. I mean, I want to go to college. That's not the point. A lot of work and multiple breakdowns. Yeah, I know that would happen to me as well, which is why I need to do it when, like, I feel really, really emotionally stable. Because it will take its toll. So, do you say Tamara or do you say Tamara? And I don't know how you would show me with the inflection. I guess say option 1 or option 2. Tamara or Tamara? I'm guessing it's Tamara, like, but maybe it's wrong. Tamara. Oh, so I was wrong. Okay. Tamara. I'll try to remember that. I'm so bad at remembering pronunciations as well. Ugh. Oh, Diana, that sounds so fun. Panic attacks are my favorite things, especially right before important stuff. Yeah. That's why I didn't go to college in the first place, was because I just was so stressed out once I finished high school because there was just so much work. Okay. Okay. It's like Panera. Tamara. You're so funny. Math was involved. Oh, geez. I'm so bad at math. Math was always my downfall. I had a lot of panic attacks and meltdowns from math-related stuff when I was in high school. Oh my gosh, Anna. You guys, okay, now you went to the far other side of the spectrum. I was like, oh, she feels like kind of going to college now? Let's break her down and make her not want to go. Oh my gosh. Good luck, Keisha. Get like a bunch of like twist ties or rubber bands or something. Math was always my worst subject. You never have to take another math class ever. Ah. See, and I wouldn't either if I'm not going to college. I'm pretty good at basic math, like the most basic of basic math, but anything besides that, I'm just like, no. And I've forgotten like all of it. You're taking a break from cleaning the apartment. Are you listening to anything good while cleaning the apartment? Like a good audiobook or anything? And I'm not good at writing either. Writing was the other thing I was always really bad at. English class was not my forte, and I don't know a lot of stuff that people should know. Oh, your husband tutored you through the whole thing? That's so cute, though. A bunch of Ziploc bags and go to town. That's the right thing to do. I always liked creative writing better than, like, papers. I was not great at either, but at least with creative writing, I got to make them as ridiculous as I could, and I never really got told off about it. So basically they'd like give the prompt or whatever and I would just like go crazy, and that was always really fun. I'd usually end up killing a bunch of people and it ended in blood. Your grunts and grumbles. Music to the soul. Oh my gosh, good luck with that, Elizabeth. I have so many like free Kindle books on there. Making a list of it would be terrible and daunting and not enjoyable at all. You guys have such cute partners helping you out. Okay, so these are all like the book club books that I know of so far. There will be other ones coming. But like looking through Goodreads at least, that's everything for the month of February. So we'll call that one good. Diana, just use an awesome app. Or Goodreads, either one. You'll make it so fast. I don't use my Kindle often. I don't know. Maybe like 4 times every like 3 months, but it's usually like consecutive. Like I'll read like 2 or 3 books on there and then stop for a couple months and then read 2 or 3 books and then stop for a couple months. See, yeah, if you're traveling a lot, then I can see you bringing it. And I always bring it whenever I travel, but if I'm not traveling, I have to be in the mood to physically read a book, and I'm normally not. A tiny part of you secretly liked it. That's great. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's see. I also need to add Left-Handed Darkness. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one, because that's the current one. Elizabeth, I don't know. I have a Paperwhite, whatever it's called, and I like it alright, but I would like to be able to use like Goodreads and stuff like that on it, and all you can do is like look at ebooks, and I don't even know if you can buy them on there. So like, I like how sleek and small it is, and it is fairly easy to navigate, but I wish I could do more. Diana, that's so cute that you travel with your husband though, and like you spend so much time with him, and then he helps you, and that you guys are awesome. That's great. Is he a reader too? Yes, but only sci-fi. And science books. No fantasy, really? Ugh. I find that weird, but science books are good. And so are sci-fi. I've actually been quite enjoying sci-fi recently. That's good that he still reads, though. I mean, Chris and I don't have a lot of, like, similar reading tastes. And we still scrape by somehow. What is this author's name? Thorland. Well, I totally just wrote Thornland. Or no, I didn't write Thornland. I wrote Thonland. But it's Thorland, apparently. Good to know. You read Born a Crime. Nice. I've heard Born a Crime is fantastic. Everyone apparently loves it. He's 36 and just read The Hobbit for the first time. Well then. 1,581 Kindle books. Wow, Elizabeth. That's a lot. I think I probably have something insane like that as well, but wow. Ugh. Okay. Turncoat. What else do I need to add? Rebel Pirate. Lady Isabella's. By Jennifer Ashley. Let's see. And he binge read my entire set. That's so cute! Your husband sounds adorable. I know, seriously, Tamara, I'm like, I wonder how many I have. The only thing is I'm not concerned about reading them. I'm not concerned about reading my physical books either. Like, I don't want to own ones that I'm not interested in, but I don't care about if I get to them or not. Really. Just because almost everything is digital for me now. Okay, so I have all these books down, and everything else I guess I can just go down the list and add in. I guess I should go back and quickly add in just all my library holds. Not library holds, library checkouts. And then I'll probably have another list like all the way down to here. He's a trip. Oh, that's cute. Awesome, thank you, Melody. I look forward to seeing them. Ugh. Speaking of Instagram, my favorite person to follow on Instagram is The Ripped Bodice, which is a bookstore in LA. It's amazing, And they also have one for Fitzwilliam Waffles, which is like their store dog. And he's amazing. And they're always posting these incredible pictures of like their front displays. And they're insanely incredible. Like, so incredible. This is a chocolate orange, by the way, by like Terry's. But if you want to see some beautiful store window displays, like their current one is like their Valentine's Day display, and it's so stunning and awesome. Like, if you want to find an Instagram to follow, definitely follow the Ripped Bodice. It's awesome. Diana, that gives me so much hope and joy. That's really cute. Hopefully Chris and I are just like you two, including the insane amounts of reading and adorable couple cuteness that you guys are. Literally what I'm doing right now is writing down the same thing that I wrote down right here. Which again, whoa, I just almost wrote down the totally wrong author. I mean, I did start to write down the totally wrong author. Let's just cover that up because I wrote down a completely wrong name. I almost wrote down Lisa Kleypas instead of Sophie Kinsella. How does one get Lisa Kleypas and Sophie Kinsella mixed up? Anyway, this does get a bit tedious, but again, if you're listening to an audiobook, I like tedious menial things to do with my hand while I'm listening to audiobooks. Oh, that's awesome, Elizabeth. I was wondering how you knew, because I've never seen a Kindle, like, say anything. Oh, Melody sent me a message. Melody, am I allowed to show the stream? Let me know. I don't want to show the stream if they're not allowed to see. Oh, it's a rainbow. It's so pretty. Is this your future log? It's super pretty. Ugh. Want to watch? Yep, it's okay. Okay, I'll show them. The space issue. Keisha, that's how I feel. Reading and tea, that sounds delightful. Oh, right now I'm writing out my TBR for like the next few weeks or so. Okay. Whoa, you're sending so many. If you guys want to see her spread, I don't know if I can turn it. No, I can't. So this is what Melody was doing during the live show. I'm guessing this is her future log. it's a beautiful rainbow. It's so pretty. And then resolutions, goals, and then movies and shows to watch. That list is so small. If that was mine, it would be like 2 full spreads of like 2 full pages of just like movies, and then 2 full pages of like just books. Not just books, of just shows. It's so manageable. I'm impressed. Let's see. So January goals, a January quote, and your January calendar. These are so pretty. You're making mine look like garbage. Stop showing off. Okay. And then, okay, so that one got sent twice. It looks like the same. Horror movies to watch. You drew a little, she drew a little knife. That's so cute. Horror movies to watch and shows to catch up with. Ooh, that's a good tracker. I mean, obviously it's a good tracker. What I meant to say is I really like how you laid it out. It looks awesome. And she penciled in like the Netflix, and she's gonna fill it in. That looks so cool. Are you gonna do it in red with like a black outline? I can't really see what the shows are, but when you finish the spread, definitely let me know. Oh shoot, I just got out of it. How do you go back? Okay, seriously, how do you go to messages? Frick! That's okay. I think... How do you do it? I'm so dumb. I've never like had to look at direct messages before. How does one get back to them? If you need more, you'll add more. Okay, seriously, how do you go? Nope. Oh, there we go. Okay, I found it. We're back. Ooh, Firestarter. I know, that's Stephen King. I'm so proud of myself. So this is your weekly spread. Oh, she like blacked out all the stuff that we're not allowed to see. And that's for your first week. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Are those like the books that you were reading during the week? You have all these cute drawings and stuff. You're so talented. Not that I didn't already know that. And you draw on all the coffee cups. That's adorable. It's so cute. It's your current audiobooks. Okay. And the physical. Okay. Okay. The coffee cups kill me. It's so cute with their derpy little faces. I love it. Okay. A brain dump. Books you've bought / received in January. That's a pretty reasonable number. Do you like check them off if you've read them? Tumblr, Instagram, reading. So tell me about the filling in squares for those. Just like how many days you did them in a month, or what is it exactly? Because I feel like you've read more than that. If you've already read 11 books, how are there only like 2 squares crossed off? So let me know about that. In your January TBR. See? You've planned out your reading, at least somewhat. Pet Cemetery. I can't see most of them. Wrinkle in Time. How was A Wrinkle in Time? I haven't read that in years. I need to reread it. Oh. Memories. Have those books read in 2018? Is that what that spread is? Oh, you didn't keep up with it. Okay. So I was like, I'm pretty sure you read like a boss so far. Supernatural catch-up journey. That is so stinking cute. Oh, I love that. Isn't that great, you guys? Fantastic. That's really cute. I have a friend who really loves Supernatural, but I've never even attempted to watch it. This is so cute. Melody, you're so talented. I love it. Look at all her little popcorns for movies that she wants to watch and releases for the year. I love it. A Wrinkle in Time was apparently just okay. This is killing me though. This is so cute. I love it. Ugh. Ugh. Mine is not creative at all. I literally just make lists. Freaking adorable. Love it. You're welcome. I think my favorite are all the little popcorns. They're adorable. Melody's the one that's really organized though. Look at how awesome her stuff is. Not only is she organized, and she's really cute at it too. Also, if organizing doesn't bring you joy, then unless it's like detrimental to people around you, I'd say don't do it. Like if you need to organize, if you're like a mom and need to make sure your children have food to eat, like that's one thing. But if being organized just to be organized, I don't feel like is necessary. Unless you want to be. And then Dating You, Hating You, which I am really excited to read. I might bump that up my list, depending. I love this. It's called Case of the Cryptic Crinoline. Like, what a great title. Nancy Springer is awesome. I've been reading her forever. One of those, like, 90s authors that I grew up with. That's where using Goodreads becomes really helpful, because then you can just like type it in there and just mark it as read and then stick in the dates, and then you have all the information. Or it's digitalized. Because otherwise I'd like totally end up losing lists and stuff. Okay, so I need to read Death Below Stairs and Tropic of Serpents. Ooh, that's one that I should have written down further up. Death Below Stairs, although I am interested in just reading it, and it was already on my list. It's the Smart Bitches Trashy Books book club pick for this month. They haven't announced their live show yet, though. So I don't know. It's not a live show, it's like a live chat. They haven't announced what it is yet, but I need to get it done before whenever that is. Would you guys participate and be interested in if I did like a book club? I would say my two biggest genres are like historical romance and fantasy. And it would probably be like a bunch of fantasy that like everyone's already read, like Brandon Sanderson and Scott Lynch and Michael J. Sullivan and stuff like that. That's probably what it'd be, and I'd probably like work on like trilogies, like alternating months and stuff. But would you guys like totally... Oh, apparently Melody would. I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking about toying with the idea, but did not know if I should like try to implement that and get it going for the new year. Like I thought about starting something and like working on it in like November and December, but then I just didn't. Yes. Okay, apparently. Would you guys be like down for the idea of doing like a half historical romance and half fantasy book club and like do like 2 books a month? So that way people can either choose which ones they're interested in case one or the other isn't their genre. You don't read historical fiction, but you give it a shot. You haven't read any Michael J. Sullivan. Neither have I yet. And I own a couple of them. I'd probably buy some as well of the ones that I don't own, just because I own them all on audio, but it'd be really nice to own them all because Christopher loves him so much. That'd be like a good excuse of like, oh, I can start buying them as I'm reading them. Christopher thinks that I would like Michael J. Sullivan potentially better than Brandon Sanderson. So he thinks I should like start with it, and that it's a little bit more of like a simple fantasy, and it is very character focused, so that I should start with that. Okay, should I implement that? Do you guys want to start like in February, or would you rather start in March so we have like time to get other things crossed off our lists? S.M. Sterling series. That's like that like dystopian-esque one where like all the electricity turns off, right? Or am I thinking of the totally wrong author? S.M. Sterling. Yeah, that is Dies the Fire. That's what I was thinking of. Okay. Okay. I guess I don't know how to do a poll, but votes for February or votes votes for March. I don't know. I mean, nothing on my list is really like life or death is the thing. That I could technically start at any time because there's only a few things that I like need to get to, and then all the other things that I want to read are just like, well, if I get to them, awesome, but if I don't get to them for like 3 or 4 weeks, that's awesome too. Is your husband picking every single book that you read, Diana, or are you allowed to choose a couple of your own? You'll definitely have to come and tell us what he chose for you as well, because I'm interested to see what he's going to try to make you read. Is he going to, like, be nice and choose things that you are interested in, or is he going to try to make you, like, read a bunch of, like, of his favorite books that you haven't gotten to yet? If I did a book club, I would probably do it, though, that I would, like, read a consecutive series unless I decide to DNF the series, and then I'd start a new series. That's probably how I'd do it for the fantasy. And then for historical fiction or historical romance, I'd probably do something similar as well, where I'd just, like, choose a series that I really want to read and then just work my way through it for a month. Since most of the books he likes are 500 pages. Oh, awesome. Do I follow you on Instagram? What's your Instagram, and I'll see. I don't think I follow you. Oh, never mind, I found you. Now I follow you. Nice. The Wobbit? Oh no. what is the Wobbit? Nice. I love how many different things you read. It's so cool. That's awesome. Okay. A spoof of The Hobbit. Oh, I've heard of Lord of the Rings. Someone came in and asked for that. At the bookstore. But I'm like, if you're gonna come into a bookstore and ask for the Lord of the Rings, at least enunciate so I don't think you're actually saying the Lord of Rings. I was like, yeah, we have that, and they're like, oh, it's by blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, we don't have that. Ugh, people are ridiculous. Okay, Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan. I don't think there's anything else that I have checked out from the library. So now I can just add in all these extra books. So, Station 11. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do for right now. I have to add in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have to add in 20 more books. So I'll be to about right here, which is what I thought. And then I'm also going to stick a key up here and like color code them again like I did before. So I really like having them color coded. It makes it so easy to look at it and like go to the important ones and stuff. It's pretty great. Alright. Well, I think this is where I'm going to end it for today. Just because my back is starting to hurt because I'm hunched over. Ugh. And I figured I should probably like lay down and rest it for a bit before I have to go call the in-laws in half an hour and then talk to them for an hour. I've been sitting up that whole time, and while I talk to them, I think I'll finish filling this out. And yeah, so anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea of how I plan a little bit. I know I didn't do like a ton. Again, I didn't plan it before I started doing it, so I didn't have any idea what I was doing, and I messed up some stuff, but that's alright because I replan like every single week, if not more often than once a week, depending on like how much I'm reading. So my planning really only stays relevant for about 5 days before I've like either read too much or like DNF'd books, and then it's no longer relevant. Oh, it was awesome chatting with you too. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this whole time. You guys are so awesome. Oh, and by the way, I do have to mention the last video that I posted about my 2018 reading goals. Guess who edited that? Me. I edited it. I'm so proud of myself. And you should be getting 1 or 2 more videos next week. Guess who edited them too? They're already edited for the most part. I just need to do a couple tweaks. Me. I've been editing my own videos and I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, Chris. I mean, it's not that Chris doesn't want to edit them. I just started, I don't know, feeling like editing, which is weird because I hated editing, and now I'm actually kind of liking it. It's so weird. So expect more videos very soon, and potentially, maybe, not for sure, but maybe a live show next Sunday doing more planning. That's not set in stone, though. Do not hold me to that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I had an awesome time hanging out with you, and I'll see you someday very soon in another video and another live show. Bye, everyone.